I'm Aaron.
I'm Asia.
And you're listening to Deadly Sips.
Guys, we have a new guest on the show today. His name is Will.
Yeah.
Hi, Will.
Give it up for
How you
Will.
doing? How you doing? Thank God for having me here.
Thank you for being here. Will, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a podcast host, and single dad, 3 beautiful children, podcast host of the Geek Gauntlet podcast and the Sports Report podcast. You can hear the Geek Gauntlet podcast every Saturday at 10 p.m. on Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, and you can listen to the Sports Report podcast every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern over on Wide Wide Network.
I love that so much. We had the privilege of being over on Geek Gauntlet podcast, and you guys, it's a fun time.
That was so much fun.
We just barely learned about Sport Report, so we're excited to check that out.
Oh yeah, you guys are more than welcome to come on. Yes.
And Aaron's like, I'm there.
I am there.
Bless.
I'm definitely more in the football world myself. I'm starting to dabble a little bit more in the other sports, like the basketball, baseball, hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many fantasy groups. Is insane.
Yeah, he does. I can vouch.
I do too. I remember one year before last, I was in like 70 groups.
Oh wow!
So that tells
Last
you.
year I was actually in like 120.
We're some sick people.
It's
man.
a second family.
I went through like a dark depression rabbit hole, and I just kept like drafting. At the end, I was like, "Crap, I'm in way too many groups."
But my best year was probably 2024. Ended up winning I was in some jelly bean leagues. I call money jelly beans. I was in some jelly bean leagues, and I won like $500.
Oh
wow!
Just like I won like $500.
There you go.
Then I went down to, but then I got humble because the 2020, the end of 2024, went down for it was more like an event, a fantasy football event. I went down with some real fantasy football players.
Oh,
boy, I got humbled like I don't know what. I think I won like 3 games against those guys. They were pros. And they did a real fantasy football draft at one of the hotels in Louisiana. I had to travel a little bit.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, it's like you see on one of the NFL draft shows. And they called out picks, and they had 2 people who were actually broadcasting the thing. Kind of like you guys are sitting right there right now. We had 2 dudes who were doing that and analyzing every pick, every draft they made.
Gosh, those are some legit guys.
It's legit, man.
Well, I wanted to ask you, what made you want to come on a true crime podcast?
I love true crime stories. I'm a huge fan of Law and Order. Huge fan of Law and Order. So that made me want to do true crime. Horror's good too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm susceptible to jump scares. We ain't gonna have no jump scares.
It's always when they get silent before the stuff. That always gets me. I'm like, nope. It's coming, and bam.
I'd rather it be noisy than the silent. The silent is what gives you.
Yeah. So that's why. So, but Law and Order, I love Law and Order. Love that. Also, I kind of link it to old school like Spider-Man, Noir, Batman. Batman got some gaslight. So stories like that. I think that's so cool. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the weirdo messed up club. Here we are, right? And we got quite the case for you today.
She's been getting in this one.
It's been, this is probably the most research I've done for an episode.
Wow.
It's been quite intensive.
Yeah, she had to dial back. That's how crazy it was.
Yeah, I had to be like, step back for a minute. All right, guys, before we get into it, we're going to do our little shameless plug of the week. As always, you guys can join us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Deadly Sips Podcast. Our video podcast, of course, is posted on our YouTube channel, Asian Aaron. And if you want to come hang out with us, join us on Patreon. Right now, we are doing 50% off everyone's first month with the code Deadly Sips.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And of course, you guys, our Deadly Sip of the week. We pair each chilling episode of our podcast with a themed cocktail and mocktail. And our drink tonight is a Nutty Irishman.
That sounds fun.
Irish whiskey, cream, and hazelnut, comforting on the surface with a little weight underneath. You guys, we tried this last night. Sometimes we do it the day of, sometimes we do it the day before, and we tried it last night, and it was pretty good.
It was good.
Jason Corbett had already lost one wife. He was raising 2 young children alone when an American au pair entered his life, and then his marriage. What looked like a fresh start slowly fractured behind closed doors, because years later, in the early hours of a North Carolina morning, Jason Corbett would be found dead on his bedroom floor. And everyone in that house had a different story about why.
Oh, man.
So grab a drink
Oh,
and let's get into it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go. Let's go.
I'm so
Wow.
excited. Okay.
I
Let's
don't know
go.
anything about this as well. Like,
You coming in
like,
blind.
I'm coming in blind.
Mhm.
That's what we do. We
Okay.
make sure each other is blind to what's coming in, so it's all real, all authentic.
Okay.
So I'm with you, Will. We're seeing what's going to happen here.
Ooh, let's see.
All right, you guys, let's get into it. Jason Corbett grew up in Limerick, Ireland. He was described as being very charismatic, happy, and always had a smile on his face. He was known locally as a hardworking, true... am I saying Limerick right? Is it Limerick?
I think you're saying it right.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm saying it right or pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. But he was known as a true Limerickman. He loved his Irish culture and people. He grew up in the area. He attended local schools. And then he later pursued a business management training degree. He worked his way up in multi-packing solutions, and he started as a machine operator. And then he later became a plant manager for the company in Ireland.
Solid.
His coworkers described him as confident, fair, inspiring, and somebody who generally cared about people. He was loved by his community, and he had a brother and a sister, but he was very close with his sister. They just had a really strong relationship. So he was a businessman, and he eventually found the love of his life. He was married to Margaret, or Mags Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Everybody said they just fit together. They were soulmates, and they just clicked. There's love at first sight. They had a son named Jack, and not too long after, they had a daughter named Sarah. Everybody said he was a deeply devoted father and husband, and that he was just made for that life. He was a true family man. He loved it. Sadly, however, that happy family dynamic came to a halt when in 2006, a few short months after giving birth to their daughter, Sarah, Mags tragically passed away from an asthma attack in the hospital.
Oh, no. An asthma attack?
Yeah.
Wow, that had to be some asthma attack.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Had to be one hell of an asthma attack.
Yeah. The one thing about this case, when I was researching it, this is one of those cases where notoriously there's a lot of divided opinions. And you'll kind of see why. Of course, I have a theory, but we'll get into all of everything at the end. So at this point, obviously that was devastating for him. He lost his wife. He was left a widowed father of 2 at the age of just 30. He was devoted to his children and tried hard to give them a stable home. And he would even constantly visit Mag's grave, and he would write cute little letters and try to bring his children there just to keep her memory alive.
Right. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, as a single dad, you have to rely a lot on people around you in your community.
You do.
So, yeah.
You do.
He relied a lot on his family. So his son was 3 years old and his daughter was around 18 months at this time. He decided to join an au pair agency. And this is where we meet Molly Martin.
Now, my uneducatedness, what is au pair?
An au pair is generally somebody who is usually from out of the country.
Okay.
And they'll come and they're like a live-in nanny.
Oh,
They'll exchange work
Okay.
for room and board and a little bit of a fee, but they usually tend the house, watch kids.
Okay.
So for him, it was the perfect situation.
Right.
I know a couple people who did that when I went to Brazil. They came over to the U.S. to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of young college students love doing this. It gets them around. You can see different countries, different cultures, but also get compensation for it.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have to worry about vetting the person nowadays, but back then, you'd probably be fine. Yeah, you'd probably be fine.
Back in the day, it was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. But nowadays, you gotta vet the person.
Oh, yeah.
Got to.
Background check, everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
even back then, he used an agency. So, like, you would go, you would have your own profile. The agency would do background check. Even in back, So back then, it was even, at least what he did, he went through an agency. So it was very,
That was
what's
smart.
the word? Yeah. It was just smart.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Molly Martens. Molly Martens grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. She was described by family and friends as social, smart, and stubborn. And her childhood reportedly included typical activities like singing, dancing, participating in events like ballet recitals. She was very good with children and loved being around them. In her 20s, she went to Clemens University in South Carolina and had aspirations to become a doctor. So
Oh, okay.
she was
Solid.
in pre-med, and apparently there's a lot of different things, but when I was watching an interview from her about this time, because she abruptly left college, and she claimed she was engaged to a man, and she reportedly got pregnant and had a miscarriage and kind of decided she got a reality check and was like, I don't want this to be my life. I don't want to be married to him.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that's when she just decided to up and leave.
Oh, wow.
But the kicker here, too, that I saw is that she just ghosted him. She didn't even tell
Oh, my God.
the
She
guy.
just up and left.
No, she's like, bye.
She was just
Bye.
engaged,
Oh,
right?
She was
wow.
engaged. She didn't even say, she just left.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, I can't. Like, I know for me, my people-pleasing self, I couldn't imagine doing that.
That's crazy.
My dad had actually a similar story when he was engaged with that.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
Wait, tell.
Do
my dad.
tell.
So my family, they're from the LDS church, the Mormon church, and he had served a mission out in South Carolina where he met my mom, my current mom.
Mm.
And when he came back, I can't remember if it was before the mission or when he came back from the mission,
Mm.
he was engaged to another girl.
Yeah, he was.
So I think it was actually,
Yeah.
it had to be after because they can't get engaged before they go on a mission. He flies back because he wanted to visit his place that he went on his mission. And my mom was going to Idaho for school. And so he picked her up, or like they met up and said, oh my gosh, I live in Nevada. Maybe I take you with me. I drop you off in Idaho and I go down to Nevada afterward. And somewhere on that trip, well, he fell for on his mission, fell for her even more during the car trip. So basically when he got to Nevada, he ghosted in those days, back in the 70s, 80s. So
Oh,
like left her and then just completely pursued my mom.
Stop.
wow.
Sorry, little side tangent there.
Oh, no. It's good. We love it. We love side tangents. We welcome them. So yeah, with Molly Martens at this point, she chose au pair because obviously her connection to children, and she also wanted to kind of get away and just take some time for herself after that happening. And she said she saw Jason's profile through the agency, and she immediately felt a draw to him and the kids. He was widowed with 2 babies. She saw these kids without a mom, and she kind of wanted to fill that void. So things worked out. She moved to Ireland. She was hired, and she quickly bonded with the kiddos. Sarah, the youngest, she quickly started calling her mom.
Okay.
Her and Jason's professional relationship quickly turned into a romantic one.
Oh, of course.
Oh, of course. Of course. That's how it
Of
works.
course.
Getting with the
I mean,
how it
you have
works.
a single man with a single
Single
woman.
woman in the same place.
Yeah.
And you got kiddos who love the one. It's just,
Yep.
it just,
It just
they were a
works.
natural fit.
Oh, yeah.
Jason wrote to Molly early on expressing how happy he was to have her and how special she made him feel. And friends and family recall that for the first time since Mags had died, that Jason genuinely seemed happy with Molly,
Oh,
which helped kind of deepen the connection
cool.
between them. Like everybody was
That's
very
cool.
supportive. They said, oh, like, we're just happy for him. He went through this horrible thing and he did, like, of course he deserves that. Like a new beginning. Jason, even though he really liked Molly, he wanted to take things slow. Understandably so, because of your babies. They just went through this horrible thing,
right.
this trauma, and he didn't want to put them through anything in case things didn't work out. But Molly was very pushy. She was very serious, and she knew she wanted a family. So just reading kind of the messages between them, they had completely different tones about their relationship, but they did decide to make the next step, and they became engaged in February of 2010. They made the decision to relocate to the U.S. to start fresh. And at this point, they had been together for 2 years. They decide they want to get married. They get engaged, and they move to Meadowlands, North Carolina in 2011.
Tar Heels.
Tar Heels.
There
We
you
love
go,
North
Tar
Carolina.
Heels, baby. Chapel Hill, baby.
There we go.
That's
there
right.
we go.
The kids were super happy. They loved their time in North Carolina and they loved their friends and their school. Sarah, in a later interview, she was like, everything is so small in Ireland, and coming to America, she remembered her house being like a mansion. She was just really excited. You know, when you're a kid and everything's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
big and fun. So it's a new and exciting time for them. Everybody, Jason's family in Ireland and all of her family, they traveled to Tennessee for the wedding. The day before the wedding, everybody says it was just a big party. Everybody seemed very happy, just getting a new start in life. They went to NASCAR, they had barbecues, they partied, and just had a grand old time. It was a wedding. Who doesn't want to party at a wedding?
Exactly.
Um,
I'm crashing it.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I'm crashing.
I'm
there.
crashing it.
I'm on the dance floor for sure.
Heck yeah.
However, the day of the wedding, we kind of start finding some red flags.
Oh.
So Jason's sister, Tracy, if you remember, her and Jason are very close.
Mhm.
She was speaking with the maid of honor, and they were having this conversation. And she tells Tracy that before Molly left to Ireland, she was saying, oh, I'm so excited to go out there and help out my godchildren because me and Mags were childhood friends, which that was 1,000% false. They were not friends. So it's just a weird thing to lie about. So that kind of, in Tracy's brain, just kind of like, oh, that's weird. And supposedly there were several wild stories that Molly used to tell. There was one instance where in North Carolina, they were at a book club with several people she knew, and they knew the whole situation between her and Jason. And she told this elaborate story about how she gave birth to Sarah, which didn't happen.
What? Okay.
Which didn't happen.
It's weird.
It's not only weird that's that, but there's people there that knows the situation. You're lying in front of people that know that. That takes it to another step, which is just weird.
Yeah.
Lastly, there was another incident where growing up, she would always make up a story about having a sister that was dying of cancer. She just weird instances of lying. During their relationship, they did have a lot of custody and adoption issues. Molly pushed a lot to adopt the kids. To her, these were her kids. This was her family. And it seemed like Jason was kind of dragging his feet. They talked about it and he kind of wanted that for them, but for some reason he just didn't want to. He would just say things like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. And oh yeah, I'll look into it. But he never really did. But turns out he did talk to a lawyer about it. He started to get the process going, but he wanted to make sure that he got his rights to keep the kids over Molly if they ever got in a divorce.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is like,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
you want to protect that first over anything else, especially where you're their biological dad, which a good dad should do.
Yeah.
But one weird thing is that Molly visited a divorce lawyer just months into their marriage to discuss her rights to custody.
Uh-oh.
She claimed she was going to go visit just to talk about adoption.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go to a divorce attorney about adoption?
Exactly.
Come on,
It's
man.
one of those like
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
sounds like a Black Widow situation almost.
Yeah,
Be
it
like,
does.
oh, like you take over everything of that life and go to the next one. You start getting too included. You start taking things and getting everything put over. Then deal. The next one, kill. The next one, kill.
Just you wait.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. Well, not really, but kind of. So this is where we start seeing instances where the marriage kind of starts to unravel. There was an instance where Jason and Molly were at a party the Friday before his death, and she was seen belittling him, calling him a fat ass, saying that he must have taken all the nutrition from his twin because he looked like he had eaten for two.
Jeez.
Very rude. And of course, Jason appeared to be withdrawn and unhappy during the party, and he left home early that night. Jason had also apparently, at this point in their marriage, been talking to his sister Tracy and his best friend back home about coming back to Ireland.
Oh, okay.
He had been missing life back there and insinuating that his relationship wasn't going that great. Molly, she spoke with a family friend who was an attorney about there were some abuse allegations here, like some domestic violence in the marriage, and she went to talk to a family friend who was a lawyer about this, and the lawyer recommended that she start documenting everything, which I've heard a lot with moms to just document anything. So she set up recording devices in the house.
Oh.
She set one under the coffee table, underneath the counter, like on her nightstand. And also to kind of document anything dealing with motherhood, just so she can have proof of that for custody. And also the kids claimed that Sharon, which was Molly's mom, so it's their grandma, she secretly gave them her phone number. You know those Russian dolls?
Yeah.
She wrote her number on the bottom of that and put it in the kids' room.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
Like one of those that like they pop off and has a smaller one,
Yes.
and they pop off and go the next one down.
okay.
Yes.
The Russian
Exactly.
nesting dolls, I think they're called.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
Russian nesting dolls. Exactly it.
Okay.
So the grandmother put her phone number under there, and she came up with a password for the kids.
Oh.
They each had their own password, so that way they could call if anything was going on.
Okay.
And the mom would come and pick them up. But they lived in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. So there's kind of speculation here if like Molly's protecting herself or if she's preparing kind of for something else. Now, the day of the murder.
Oh.
The day of the murder.
The juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, really, no. But,
yeah, right.
Nay. So on August 2nd, 2015, this is more so from Molly and her dad's side, Tom. So at Jason and Molly's house, in their household at the time, there was them, Jason and Molly, the kids, Jack and Sarah, who were 10 and 8 years old at this point, and Molly's parents were visiting from Tennessee. His name's Tom and Sharon.
Okay.
Supposedly, they drove from Tennessee to spend the night. And they said they didn't have anything better to do, and they just wanted to come visit their kids. According to Molly, they all went to bed that night, and supposedly Sarah had a nightmare. And she woke up sometime around 3 o'clock in the morning, and she went into her parents' bedroom like kids do when they have a nightmare. So Molly claimed that Jason got mad at the fact that he had been woken up. He was just very irritable. Molly got up and helped Sarah back into bed. And she claimed that when she got back, Jason freaked out at her for waking him up and he started choking her, which apparently she said had happened multiple times before. But he started choking her and it got to the point where she couldn't breathe.
Wow.
And there was an instant or a moment where he let go enough for her to scream. So she screamed. And Tom and Sharon were sleeping in the basement and they heard thumping going on upstairs and they woke up to the scream.
Oh my.
So Tom gets up, goes upstairs. He grabs a bat that he sees laying out and he heads upstairs. Which I always hear these stories. I'm like, who has a bat?
Right.
Just laying in the house. So I'm like, wouldn't
Who's
the
got
bat
a bat
be
like right there?
I know exactly. I'm like
right there.
I mean,
I don't have a bat
people
right
feel
here.
like they do. Like they have some kind of defensive thing next to either like their door or like on the side of their bed.
Well, he was visiting.
That's true.
He was visiting the basement and he said he just saw it laying around. He grabbed it and went upstairs.
Okay.
But I'm like, I would think it would be like in a garage or something.
Right.
But so Tom claims that he entered the bedroom and he sees Jason choking her and he says, I'm going to kill her. And he starts dragging her to the bathroom. Tom strikes Jason with the bat. And Jason tries grabbing the bat, which he kind of let go of Molly at that point. Molly gets away, and she hits Jason with a cinder block that was on her nightstand.
And
What
your
the-
nightstand?
Wait.
What the hell?
A cinder block on the nightstand.
Yep,
Who has a cinder block?
exactly. That was my literal note says, who the fuck has a cinder block sitting on her nightstand?
That's some Batman prep time for you. Good Lord.
I mean, I was in a different country in 2016, but I'm pretty sure I don't remember in America there being some kind of weird trend that you keep cinder blocks
no,
on your nightstand.
no. We'll get into. She gives a reason why she had the cinder block, but I'll get into it later.
Oh,
It's just
man.
like
Please,
what?
somebody.
It doesn't make any sense. It's weird. So Tom hits him in the head several times with the bat and he collapses. Tom says he went to go call 911 and you can listen to the 911 call. And when the paramedics got there, Jason was pronounced dead at the scene. And at face value, this sounds like a father saving his daughter, but the story does not survive scrutiny.
I'm like, I mean, yeah, the thing that beats me, I could understand the bat, but the cinder block
The
is
cinder
just,
block make it kind of, yeah.
exactly. That
You're like,
makes no sense.
Cough,
makes
cough.
no sense.
Now
Cough,
you had
cough.
apparently recording devices everywhere, so let's
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that too.
So, just to gather, where are your thoughts so far on the case?
Oh yeah, she fucking killed him.
Oh yeah, she did it.
And
She did it.
somehow the father was in on it.
Yeah, yeah. Had to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything was just too laid out and orchestrated.
But yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Either that or like she broke down and like told her dad.
Mhm.
And of course, the dad being a dad, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I guess I will have to lie for you," and we just come up with this crazy story.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Oh, there's so much.
And a dad will do that for his daughter.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
1,000%.
yeah, dad will do that for his daughter. And like I said,
I'd
it's
kill
just
for my daughters.
and it's like it's just too laid out with the recording devices, the batch there, the sender. It's just too laid out. You know, kind of like an SNL skit. Just
Yes.
too laid out.
My one thing too about the recording devices, because they never bring it up, but I'm like, if you had recording devices, wouldn't you do you not have them the night of the murder? Would you not be able to pull them up? Because she said they were activated by voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she took them down at this point, but for some reason they're not mentioned here. But she brings them up way later after the fact,
Wow.
which I'll get into. But anyway,
Because she
Okay.
couldn't catch a story, so she got the other one, but that story is starting to counteract one. So
Yep.
let's see what you do here, Molly.
Yep. Mhm. So this is kind of where I'm going to stop part 1, because part 2 is where all of the info is. There's a lot more info in part 2.
Catch next time on Dragon Ball Z.
So yeah, I know it's hard to stop right there in the thick of things.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys in the next episode. It'll be fine. For us, it's going to be like 2 minutes, but for you guys, it'll be a little longer. But it's okay.
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. We'll get it. Oh, it's a crazy case. It's a crazy case. And I'm excited to get into it. So for all you fellow sippers who have made it this far, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And obviously, thanks to Will for hopping and being here. We'll just end it here and sip carefully.